I always do that every day, don't I? Got to stop doing that.
You do.
In any case, I'll stop doing it. There's no question. Nana will not be in today. She feels much better, but she's still not quite there yet. She's been sick for like 5 days.
Yeah, she's been really sick. I've had like a mild cold for like almost a week now. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. So if I sniffle or clear my throat, I am sorry. I do not have a cough button. I'll try my best.
I do the same. I've been clearing my throat all morning.
I'll try my best.
No question about it. No doubt about it. That's all I have to say. So what's new in your world? Anything good?
Oh yeah, Andy.
Yes,
Andy's
I would say so.
has a new person.
New person in the house.
Yeah.
Colin.
Got a new baby.
Colin.
It's one of the great things that ever happened to you, isn't it?
Well, one of the two, I suppose.
One of the two. There's no question about it. Looking back on the whole situation and, when Andy was born, because we didn't know if you were going to be a boy or a girl. At least they didn't tell me if you were going to be a boy or a girl.
Mom said it wasn't even an option to find out when she was pregnant with Andy.
There's no way that's true.
She said that. She was like, we just
in the late 80s.
Yeah, I don't know. She was like, they never even asked if we wanted to know.
Oh, they might not have asked, but they definitely could have.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. That's what I thought. But she was like, we didn't know because they didn't. It wasn't a thing. I was like, what? Really?
Let's see here.
Because like Diane knew that the twins were boys, but she had to do that amniocentesis thing with them because she was older and they were twins.
Let's see. It looks like, in like the 70s, they, ultrasound became a thing.
In the 70s?
But I don't think.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was. I think she had said that they only kind of did that when you were a baby if there was a need for it, Not like, now they're just doing ultrasounds constantly when you're pregnant.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
Yeah. Like where I had my kids, the hippie house, they only do it at 20 weeks. That's it. They only do one ultrasound. But
I think Melissa only got 2.
Hospitals, you get one at 8 weeks.
8 weeks? There's like nothing there at 8 weeks.
Yeah, but they like check to see that there is.
Oh, make sure it's not like a blighted ovum or something.
Yeah. And check for the heartbeat and everything. And then they do one at 20 weeks. That's like the in-depth one. And then I feel like they do another one. I don't know. And then there are people that have high-risk pregnancies that get them like every 2 weeks, all of the time. I don't know. I'm like, it's ultrasounds all over the place. But anyway.
It all works out in the end. But no, that's one that you guys have observed this. There's no question. Both of you have because of your children. But obviously grandchildren, children are very, very important. There's no question. But grandchildren are every bit as important because it's just another extension of the family. And that whole experience about, like I said, the difference between Fawn and then Sage and then Ethan, because Ethan is 6 years younger than Fawny and 4 years younger than Sage. Yep. Now Colin will be another couple of years younger than that whole deal. But just to watch again, the other day when Andy said, "What you're going to put his pants on or something?"
I do that a lot. Yeah,
you have to put your pants on, and then you can go to Nana and Bop Bop's.
Yeah, and then you have to put your pants on, then you go to Nana and Bop Bop's.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "What?"
Yeah. He said that would be terrific.
That would be terrific for a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Now he had to have gotten that from Fawn or Sage.
He got it from something. I don't know what. I don't talk like that.
No, you don't say terrific.
I talk like that.
Doesn't say the word terrific.
I talk like that, but there's no way you got it from me.
Well, he probably got it from your kids,
like,
though.
Get away from me.
He does not.
He doesn't like me, and it's fine.
He does too.
No, he doesn't. But it is what it is.
Why wouldn't he like you?
I don't know.
He loves
me.
He
never has.
Really?
No. Kid doesn't like me.
Or Alex.
He's like the only little kid in the world that doesn't like me. It's fine.
I don't.
Well, he just never sees you.
I'm not taking it personally.
Well, that's a good thing.
No, he's just he's become more indifferent to me over the past year. Before it was like, get away from me.
I mean, it was a baby?
Yeah.
You didn't want to be around you.
No.
Well, I never even noticed that.
You should pay attention. Now he's just more like indifferent, or like every once in a while he gives me a like, stop talking. Why are you near me?
You know what he does to me though? When he sees me for the very first time that day, he gets his look on his face like, Oh, there's that guy, the evil doer. And he's got this big smile on his face. And how he kind of closes his eyes, guy squints his eyes with that
Mhm.
smile on his face. He does that every time I see him for the first time that day.
He does do that.
Yeah, he does. There's no question about it. I mean, honest. Well, you guys already know because you have children, the great joy and, the gift from whatever it's all about. But grandchildren are no different. They're just another extension of the family. And you look at it and it's wonderful having kids that young around. They kind of keep you fresh, don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, and then when you're the grandparents, it really does. It just, going from one generation to another. Well, we have a damn good family. I mean, when you look at our family with the in-laws and everything, I mean, we don't have any booze hounds. We don't have any drug addicts. We don't have any bad actors. We don't have any of those problems in our family.
I don't know. There might be some bad actors. If Diane was in a play, I don't know how she'd.
Oh, she could be a horrible actor. There's no question about it.
I don't know. I don't know that she's ever been in theater.
No, by bad actors, I mean criminals.
I'm just kidding.
They used to be called bad actors back in the day.
Mhm.
But I mean, the reason I even bring that up is I have a friend who was the chief of police at a major city in America. He was the chief of police and he couldn't keep his brother out of jail.
That's how I was just talking about that. We had friends over
you
on
were?
Saturday night. How like police relatives and pastor relatives are always the ones that get into the most trouble.
Really?
Yes.
What, did something just happen?
No. It was just like a topic of conversation.
Yeah,
that
he
we
could
were-
not keep his brother out of prison. It was really weird to watch.
Yeah, I had a friend in high school who was the son of a police officer, and he just constantly was an absolute maniac.
I wonder why that is, what that's all about.
He was only allowed to hang out with me for a while.
Oh,
because
really?
He knew that I wouldn't. His parents knew that I wouldn't like try to get him to do drugs or do
Oh,
anything
yeah.
weird. So I was the only one he was allowed to hang out with.
Was that a big problem when you guys were in high school, drug problems?
No, I mean, like when I went to public school, it was like there was just kind of groups that
Mm-hmm.
did it. When I went to performance arts school, it was a lot more common because people would
I'm
like
sure,
take
yeah.
ecstasy
Oh,
before they would go
yeah.
on stage and stuff like that. And like it was the whole like artistic, like, oh, this drug expands your mind kind of thing. But I'm afraid to take Dayquil. So
Well, see.
Not
Yeah,
my
like
thing.
the idea of taking something like LSD, just no, thank you.
no, absolutely not.
I don't need that like doing some permanent damage to my brain.
Well, yeah, like
one in a million chance that, of course, I get the roll of zero on.
Well, I read a book in college about a woman that took LSD and then developed schizophrenia because
Oh,
it like
God, yeah, it
flipped
did
the
happen.
switch
Yeah.
of.
Yep.
But then she prayed it away. She found God and prayed it away,
Oh, she
Oh.
did?
and she
Just
like
that easy.
didn't have to use her medication or anything anymore. I mean, the mind is a powerful place.
I know. God, there's a coincidence. I was coming in the door this morning to come up to the studio to do the morning show or the first show, I guess it is. But a guy in the elevator held the door and said, "Are you going up?" And I got on and I said, you got to be very careful with that. And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I once asked a guy, 'Are you going up?' And he said, 'Well, yes, I am. I hope you are too. Do you have a relationship with God?'" It's like, no, I was talking about going up in the elevator.
You know,
It's like,
some people like to
okay,
weave it
well,
into everything.
They like to
They
weave
sure
it into
do.
everything about their lives.
It's a
don't
smooth
they?
segue.
We were leaving the Vikings pregame that we went to a couple weeks ago.
You didn't go yesterday, though.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Dan in November to a game,
Oh,
I
okay.
think. But the kids were like, we'll just take them to a preseason game. But we were walking back. You know how there's always somebody with a megaphone or
Oh,
a
yeah.
speaker that's
Oh, yeah.
preaching God's word.
Oh, of course.
There's a guy. We're walking back to our parking spots, and there's a guy talking about God's word. And Sage goes, "Yeah, we know."
Oh, God. Oh, how did he handle that with a 6-year-old?
He didn't even
Didn't
say
even
it. I know,
notice.
but I was just like, okay, Sage, wow. Cool.
Sagey can get a little attitude on him.
Yeah, we know. I think it just I don't know.
Well, kids don't
Yeah.
They say it like it is.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, we already know about it. I mean, they go to
Mhm.
a religious school, so I think he's
Well,
just like,
yeah,
yeah, we get
exactly.
it.
But to him, it would be like someone going up to him and saying, like, the first letter of the alphabet is A. It's like, well,
Exactly.
duh.
Yeah, like, okay. I know. So, but it was just funny hearing him. Yeah, we know.
Hmm.
Whatever.
Okay, I have to ask you guys a question because you're of a different generation than I am. Are political rallies on overpasses even legal?
I hope not.
And new bus lanes appear on a portion of Hennepin and Lyndale Avenues in downtown Minneapolis. I don't know what that has to do with it, but yeah, there's a picture of this overpass. It looks like 94, could be 35W, I guess, too. I don't recognize the bridge, though, but does it say in here? Oh, this is Nicollet and Portland on Interstate 494. That's what this one is, actually. Free Palestine, arms embargo now, not another bomb. They got all their stuff. I just don't think is it a good idea to put things up for people to read while they're driving?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
No.
like, am I driving by your protest and like reading all of these signs? Because if I am, then that's dangerous. And if I'm not, then your protest is a waste of time.
One, also, my question is, how many minds have been changed by that kind of
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, like, who's ever driven by something like that and been like, you know what? They're right.
You know, first I
I'm-
wanted all Israelis to die,
yeah.
but no, I want all Palestinians to die.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand the effectiveness of that. Also, yard signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yard signs
Like,
are ridiculous.
I don't understand yard signs. I know people, I have close friends that have yard signs. And I just am a little bit like, what?
I know. What is the
What's
point?
the purpose
The
of
only-
the yard? Just to show your support?
We have had one yard sign. We did it, I think it was last year. And that was because a guy from Watertown was running to be, I don't even remember, senator or governor or something. So it was like, oh, you know, Watertown pride.
Oh, was he a good guy?
I think so.
Okay.
Melissa
maybe
knew
do your
Melissa
research.
knew more about him than me.
Okay.
And
Oh, there you go.
she was like, we should get a sign. I'm like, sure.
Okay. The only yard sign I've ever been like, yes, that is a protect our pollinators. Or like we support pollinators or something
No, yeah.
on our lawn because our lawn is very pollinator friendly.
I want to get like overly literal yard signs.
Yes.
Like there is a tree next to this sign.
There you go.
Sure.
Well, it's
Mhm.
important you read that then.
I
So it
know.
doesn't fall on you.
And then
This
there's-
is my house.
I live here. I've always thought the like all are welcome here signs are funny because I've wanted one that's like accept serial killers
Mhm.
and
People like that.
puppy kickers.
Yeah, for real.
And like please don't come.
I
don't
know. It's
want
just
you
like
near
this.
me.
I love everything stuff. It's just so schmaltzy.
Yes.
It's like, get over yourself. You don't love everyone and you know it.
And well, particularly now where everybody's pissed off about everything and everybody treats everybody else like dirt. How
Can
much
you-
longer is that going to go on?
Do you okay. I'm just trying to think of when this election is going to be over. We still have
November
what-
something or other.
November, what's 4th?
What, like a month
When is the
and a half?
election?
It's the, I think it's the 4th.
November
It is the
4th.
5th.
5th. Okay.
Oh, because the
there
4th
you
is
go.
Sunday. Yeah, it's a Monday.
Oh,
How
there you
many
go.
days until November 5th?
Well,
43 days.
43. I was
Mhm.
gonna say I just did the Halloween countdown for my kids on Friday,
Uh-oh.
so I have to.
Ethan is very into Halloween this year.
Does he
Oh,
know what
is
he's
he?
gonna be? Does he know? Does he have a-
Yes, he's going to be if you give a mouse a cookie mouse.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh,
We have the little ears and a tail and
Is Colin
overalls.
going to be a cookie?
I think that's probably the best option.
Or he could be like the pig or the moose
Or the cat.
or the cat
Or the dog.
or the dog. If you give a dog a donut,
Dog a donut, moose a
Moose a
muffin,
muffin,
cat a
pig-
cupcake, and pig a
pig a
pancake.
pancake.
Yep.
Those shows are cute.
Yeah, that's why he loves that show.
Super, super cute
What is it?
show.
It's
If you give
called,
a mouse a cookie.
yeah, it's a show about
oh,
the,
it's called You Give a Mouse. a
Yeah,
Cookie.
it's a
Yeah.
show about all the animals in those books, and it's very like calm and simple
yeah.
and sweet.
We like
It's-
that show because it's very like
Yeah.
For a while he was watching like one of the first shows he really got into was Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog,
I've
but it's
never
like
seen that.
so manic. I mean, you
Oh,
know,
I-
Sonic's entire thing is, you know, he's got to go fast, so everything's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like, holy crap, this is a little
Fawn tried to watch one of the Sonic movies on an airplane once, and like 20 minutes in, she was like, "This is too much," and turned it off.
Sonic movies.
Yeah.
Oh, like the new ones?
Like the ones with what's his face, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
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 She tried to watch one on a plane, like going to Florida last year or something. And after 20 minutes, she was like, "This is too wild,"
Yeah.
and stopped. I know. Well, there are some shows that I don't let my kids watch because they're so just ridiculous. Like this show came out during, I think it was during COVID, Gabby's Dollhouse.
Gabby's Dollhouse.
It's on Netflix. And it's not even that like fast paced
That's a lot of
craziness.
colors.
It's so many colors and so much like she has 30,000 little make-believe friends
Yep.
that all make various different sounds and swirls and
Sounds like
sparkles. Yeah, it's a very similar thing to Pokemon because it's not like it's super fast paced and there's just like so much going on all the time, but it's just very visually.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me
Wild.
of what was that artist that made like the binders and notebooks and stuff with like
Lisa Frank.
Yes, exactly. It
Yeah.
reminds me of that.
Yeah, but when it came out, it was COVID, and I was like, oh yeah, new show, like whatever, you can watch this. And every single time after they watched an episode, they were absolute maniacs, and I was like, you can never watch the show ever again. Thank you, goodbye.
Yeah, we keep him
So now they're
with
not allowed.
pretty calm shows.
That's good.
He mostly watches If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. He watches Curious George.
That's a good
He
one.
likes Curious George. He likes Clifford. You know, all those old, relatively calm cartoons.
Yeah.
He seems to like older things mostly,
That's good.
which is interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Like God, yesterday he was just laughing his ass off over these 1930s Mickey shorts.
Oh, you said that he likes those.
Yeah, but I mean, well, he loved those like a year and a half ago, and then he
Oh.
kind of stopped. And like he'd watch them every so often, but then yesterday he's just like he wants to watch all of them in a row, and because they're like maybe 10 minutes long tops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're repairing a bell tower or whatever, and he just thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
Great.
The fact that it's very, very old does not bother him. Because
Why
1930,
should it?
I mean, God, there can't be that many people alive who were alive when that came out anymore.
No.
Because 1936,
Yeah, that's a while. It's a while ago.
1936, that would have been 88 years ago.
God,
How
that's
many
amazing.
people
Yeah.
are 88 or above? I want to drink my tea, but it's too hot. This is one of those things that keeps it, if you keep the lid on, it's just never cools
It
down.
never cools. Yeah, that'll happen. No question about it.
Let's see.
I want my throat soothing tea.
Well, 4.7% of people are 90 or over.
4.7% are 90 or older.
Oh, wait, no. 4.7% of the population 65 and older. So that means of people 65 and
okay.
older, only 5% of them are 90 or over.
Oh, yeah.
What a
So that
weird
means
way to do
is
that statistic.
Super weird. But yeah, no, it's there's not a whole lot of people who live to be 90.
No.
Well, more and more all the time. Or actually, that's not true. I heard the death rate has gone down, or the death age has gone down like a few months.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. What happened is COVID came through and killed a bunch of people who were like, 95 years old.
Already
Yeah.
on the brink.
Yeah, exactly. So a bunch of like extreme outliers died, which did lower the average, but that doesn't really mean anything to someone who's not already, 90 something.
Yes.
Because it's like, just because a bunch of people in their 90s died doesn't mean I have a lower chance of making it to my 90s now. So it's like, it's kind of life expectancy is kind of a meaningless statistic because it relies on data that's nearly 100 years old.
Yeah, that is very, very true.
It's like the life expectancy, I think it's technically 74.
I was going to say, I think the worldwide, life expectancy.
But
for men, it's
like 72
Yeah,
for
like
men
72
and 76
and
for
70,
women
yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that.
I
But
think so, yeah.
so 74 is the life expectancy, but that's the life expectancy of someone who was born 74 years ago. Because, that's the only way they can really count it.
I had a whole conversation with the second graders about this because I'm in second grade during lunchtime. And so we had some really strange conversations.
Mhm.
And we were talking about life expectancy and how old is old, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Would they still say 60 was old?
No.
No.
I thought that they would think, 50 is really old or 60 is really old, but they were like, people that are 80 aren't that old. And I was like,
Really?
It
Yeah.
depends on the person because there's 60-year-olds who are
Very
old.
true. I mean, there are people in their 50s that are 1,000,
Yep, exactly.
basically.
I've always thought it's like probably 80 is like, you're kind of officially old when you're 80.
Yeah, I feel like mid 80s, but it's like interesting because you look at my mother-in-law, she's almost 80, and I don't feel like I don't look at her and think, wow, she's
No,
getting old.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
She's very active. We called her yesterday and she was finishing up a walk around one of the lakes,
Mm-hmm.
and she let the kids hang out with her while we went grocery shopping because we were in Edina, and we were driving by her condo, and they were like, can we go stop in and say hi to grandma? And then we did, and she was like, just keep him here with me so you don't have to take him grocery shopping, which probably saved us $300.
They grab a few things and throw them in the cart,
Oh
do
my
they?
gosh. I mean, they eat all of them, so it's fine. But at the same time, it's like, we don't need 8,000 different granola bars and strange cereals.
I would imagine. I was looking at that story about, is it okay to have protests on how did they write this out again?
Overpasses.
Overpasses. Yeah, it was overpasses. Is it okay to have political protests on overpasses? And I'm scrolling down. Yeah, are political rallies on overpasses legal? And then you go down 1, 2, 3, 4 stories, and you have this. Protesters display banners with white supremacy messages from Interstate 694 bridge. So they got not one, but 2 stories about standing on a bridge over a freeway. One's about protesting. The other one's about white supremacy. I
don't really trust the Star Tribune's definition of white supremacy
Well,
messages.
That's true.
that's why I was thinking of clicking on it, because I was like, I got to be honest with you. I suppose maybe it's because where I grew up and all the rest of it. I don't know. But I didn't run into a lot of white supremacy as in my life. But I suppose in a Catholic, Black, and Jewish neighborhood, you're not going to.
Not likely.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
A handful of people on Saturday afternoon displayed white supremacy messages on banners hanging over Interstate 694 in Vadnais Heights. The banners, draped from a walking bridge near I-694 and Rice Street interchange, include statements such as defend white culture and mass deport now. But defend white culture, that's not white supremacy.
I mean, if it said
yeah.
anything else, if it said defend black culture, no one would have a problem with it.
Yeah, defend white culture is not
Makes you
racist.
think.
It's just Jesus. Defend any culture.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't grow up the same. We are different. We have different cultures. And I'm talking about not just skin color differences. I'm talking within the white culture, within the black culture. We are totally different. We've had different lives, different experiences. You can't judge everybody by one statement, for God's sake. Why do they want to treat people like that?
Because they can. I mean, I don't know. I think 30 years ago, these people would have been far right Christian zealots who were telling everyone they were going to go to hell. They just want to bully people, and it's acceptable to bully certain people at certain times.
I suppose that's probably true. Makes them feel bigger, like a bigger deal.
Exactly. Right? 30 years ago, you could make fun of atheists and gay people, and now you can make fun of white people.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what they do.
That's true.
Ramsey County deputy spoke with the group, which then took down the banners and dispersed. According to a sheriff's office spokesperson, state law prohibits the display of political or advertising signs on bridges over traffic.
Well, I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
7 DFL state lawmakers representing the East Metro area jointly issued a statement Saturday condemning the incident. This display of racism and xenophobia does not represent our community, and we will not tolerate any group promoting such violence and bigotry, said the statement, signed by Senator Heather Gustafson, Tua Zhang, John Marty, Brian Curran, Jamie Becker Finn, Peter Fisher, and Kelly Molly. These are all state representatives. We denounce any ideology of group that seeks to dehumanize people based on their race, ethnicity, religion, or any other identity. Well, again, what they held up was...
Yeah, how did it do any of that?
Defend white culture, and then it said mass deport now. Now, that doesn't have to do with skin color or anything else. It has to do with people who are in this country illegally, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and even if it doesn't, even if it is all immigrants, technically applies to nationality more than anything.
Yeah, it's not racist in the least.
So
I
it
don't
doesn't have
understand.
anything to do with race, ethnicity, or religion. Or technically, I don't know if nationality is an identity
Yeah, I
per
don't
se.
either. We stand together against hatred in any form and are committed to building a community where everyone feels safe and valued. That's a flat out lie, because these are the same people that will condemn you and call you a white supremacist
Yep.
when you're not.
Supremacist.
White supremacists. You were the same people that would love to attack other people and make them look bad. I've been attacked personally about things that I never did or never said.
I did that one time.
Yeah, one time. It was only at one time.
Jeez, Dad.
No,
Get
seriously,
over it.
these people are just so. Well, politicians are the worst human beings on earth, so don't listen to them ever. All of them. They're just disgusting. Ish. Right?
Right.
You're right.
No, you guys, you gave me the pause on that one.
I want to read something.
Okay.
Completely change subjects.
Okay, it's time to change it anyway, because that pisses me off. I just,
Yeah, it gets.
it's in your world, it's something totally different there, buddy.
I saw a thing the other day. I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to guess what movie I'm describing.
Okay.
Where is it?
Oh, she doesn't have it. Fell
Ugh, I'm
apart.
sorry,
on us.
it's a. Michael sends me a lot of stuff on Instagram, and so I have to find which one it was. Okay. I didn't see any of these. Post unavailable. And see, sometimes I don't look at them for a while. Oh my gosh, he sends me so much stuff. Is it this one? Okay, ready?
Okay, we're ready.
I watched a movie. It's about a man's wife. Remember, you have to guess what movie this is.
What movie it is? Yes.
It's about a man's wife who was brutally murdered by a serial killer, and his son is left physically disabled. In a twisted turn of events, his son is kidnapped, and the dad has to track
Jesus.
and chase the kidnapper thousands of miles with the help of a mentally disabled woman.
Is it called Taken?
No,
God, what
Is it
movie?
called Max Payne?
no.
Somebody's taken thousands of. I have no idea.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Oh my God!
Ah.
Get out! It's time to wrap up the show, Andy.
listen,
Just shut
now
it
That is
down.
true. I mean,
Now
if
that you
you
know.
made Finding Nemo as humans,
Yes.
it would be like rated R.
It's about a man's
Absolutely.
wife who's brutally murdered. Yep. By a
Mhm.
serial killer.
Mhm.
Yep.
There's
the son
serial
is-
killer fish.
Yeah.
Well,
It
it's
just
it's a barracuda or
Yeah.
something.
that just
Oh, okay.
kill everything they see.
Yeah, so they just eat everything.
And the son is left physically disabled. Yep.
Yeah, he's got one of his left fin, I think,
In a
is
in a
up.
twisted turn of events, his son is kidnapped. Yep.
Mhm, by a diver.
That's
Yep. And the dad
terrible.
has to track and chase the kidnapper thousands of miles with the help of a mentally disabled woman.
Yeah, they have to get to 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Yeah. And she has short-term memory
And
loss.
yeah,
So is that a Disney movie?
Yes.
yeah, it's a pretty old one actually. I think it's like
Disney has been known to do things like that for years and years and years, like have the not really double meaning, but
well, it's like The Lion King is Hamlet. I think it's Hamlet, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Pretty
it's like The
much.
Lion King. Make that into humans, you know.
Yeah. Not
You-
exactly. Any.
You got this kid who has to watch his father get trampled to death, and then his uncle tries to murder him, and
Yeah.
he burns his uncle to death in a fire at the end. It's
Yeah. Like
not
pretty
acceptable
dark.
as humans, but
The-
make him cats, and it's okay.
Well, the Fox and the Hound, horribly sad story.
Yeah.
So depressing.
Hmm.
I mean, most Disney movies, if they were people, it would be an extremely depressing movie.
Well, I
Yeah,
suppose,
that is very
yeah.
true. That's
You
why
know?
they're not humans, I suppose.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to digest.
Well, and I remember reading something when Fawn was probably about Ethan's age about the importance of watching that type of thing in a movie for children. It helps them develop empathy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it makes
don't know.
sense.
So
Has that gone by the wayside? Do you think that empathy is nowhere
okay,
near
don't
as important
go
as
back
it used
to it, Dad.
Seriously.
You just pulled out of it.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to know because
We
a
don't
lot
need
of
to
people,
dwell on the negativity all the
I'm
time.
You
not
have to
dwelling on any
accent,
negativity. I'm
Situate
just
the
saying.
positive, eliminate the negative.
That's
God.
right.
See?
How about pipe downative?
See, yeah.
How about that? Actually,
Well,
I don't think that's a word.
no,
it's not.
Therefore, you are wrong.
Yes.
Exactly. Dad, are you going to come watch me in the 10K
When's that?
the 5th of October?
5th of October. Is that a Saturday?
Yep.
We probably could.
Mom never shows up. You always hang out with my family and watch me.
Yeah,
You hang out at the church, and then you cross the street, and then you
Oh, is
see
that
me
where it
go
ends
by.
up at the church?
No, you always sit on the steps of that one
Yeah.
church on Summit. and
Oh, yeah,
then
that's
it ends at the Capitol. You guys never see me finish. You always see me.
Yeah, right. Oh,
at
that
those 2
finish line, you
points.
can't get anywhere near
Yeah,
it anyway.
and that's fine. And the kids are going to do the family mile.
Oh, they are?
Yep.
Up
very
the hill.
excited
It's up
about
the hill. Do
Up
they
the
know
hill
that?
and then down the hill. They've done
Yep.
it. They've done it a few times.
That's true.
They're excited about it. They didn't do it last year because we had soccer, because I had to coach soccer. But
Yeah,
this
despite
year we're doing it.
being like 1/3 our height, kids can run for a very long time without
Oh,
getting
God,
tired.
yes.
Sage ran, so they did track and field this summer, and he ran an 8-minute and I think 40-second mile.
That's pretty quick.
That's faster than I
Mhm.
run.
Well, if you think about it, I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean,
when
if
you
I
weigh,
ran a mile,
if you
I
weigh
could run it
40
faster, but-
pounds, it doesn't take a whole lot of force to
I know,
like
but,
move
like
you
your
around.
legs are tiny.
Well,
Like
like
he has
think-
to take a lot more steps.
Think about like little dogs. Think about the Jack Russell Terriers. They could run at half the speed of light when they needed
I know, but
to.
they're more like sprinters.
Well,
Dogs
a
are
mile is
sprinters.
debatable. You probably
Mid-distance
wouldn't. Yeah, it's like
for
a
a dog.
mid-distance thing.
Yeah, I don't know. And Sage he would just want to do every single event. It was like, I want to run the mile. I want to run the 400 meter. I want to run the 200 meter. I want to run the 100 meter. I want to do the long jump. And he did them all. And he would
Okay.
just run and run and run and run.
That's going to be Ethan.
Oh, yes,
Never
Ethan,
ever
yep.
stops.
He never stops.
No.
I have a question for you because I've been noticing this more and more because I've been for the last 6-7 months, been going out for 6, 7, 8 mile walks on, pretty much every day. I mean, literally by pretty much every day, I mean, 98% of the time I do it every day. But I've noticed something that I don't think is too good for people, but maybe you would know this, Alex, because you still run, don't you?
Just ran 5.5 miles the other day.
There you
I
go.
was
Andy,
supposed
you
to
don't
run-
run though, do you?
I run in like tight circles around the backyard,
Yeah, there you
chasing
go.
a toddler.
Chasing a toddler.
I do run. I mean, I don't run several miles a day, but I jog at least a few miles a day because of Ethan.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, that's true.
I was supposed to run 6 miles this morning, but I just was like, I can't do that.
Okay, so I want to ask you something because I've noticed this, and it's just been the last couple of years that when I was your age,
Alex, he's
Yep.
looking at me.
well,
Ah.
that's true. You can't see what I'm looking at. That you would take long strides to run.
Yeah.
And I notice now when people run, they do these little hop steps. They take very short steps and bounce up and down. That can't be
skip?
real. Kind of looks like they're skipping. They're not striding.
When I
know
run,
that.
I take very long strides.
Right.
And I'm,
You're
I'm a very
supposed-
fast runner.
You're supposed to take like middle size strides because long isn't good. And short, you're supposed to take shorter steps when you go uphill
Uphill.
Well,
yes.
yeah, that makes sense.
and then longer downhill. But if you're running on a generally flat surface, you're supposed to take like mid-sized strides.
But these people are all like they're hopping, and they're not really. I guess suppose they're running, but they're also
Huh.
hopping while they're doing it.
You can go to a lot of running stores and get your stride evaluated,
Oh, you can.
and they tell you like what you're doing wrong and like where you should be landing and
Yeah.
what type of shoe you need to not either like over pronate or whatever. Which a lot of people don't know. A lot of people just get a pair of running shoes and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to go running.
Yeah, they
It's
think
like,
they're all the same. Yeah.
No, actually not at all. You should definitely go and get running shoes that somebody who knows what they're talking about said these are good shoes.
Where
for
is
you.
it like a good spot to do that?
I mean, any running store.
So there are a lot of running stores.
Yeah, like Mill City Running I used to go to. That's in Northeast Minneapolis. Why can't I think of the place that we go to now? It's in Eden Prairie. I'm gonna look it up.
I don't
If
know.
you just go at the running room, there's those
running
types of
room.
I
stores.
know Brittany used to work at one
Brittany
like
did?
a long time
She
ago.
worked at Schuler Shoes.
Was it Schuler? Yeah.
Yeah,
She did.
yeah.
Wonder how her new show's doing. That's her dream job. I
Dream
saw
job.
her about a week ago. She's still one of my favorite people in the world.
She's
What a nice person.
TC Running Company.
TC Running Company.
That's where I go to get that's where Dan and I go to get our running shoes now. He just got new running shoes because he's running the 10-mile,
Who is?
Well,
Dan,
Oh, Dan is. Okay.
and I'm running the 10K.
I'll run a 10M.
I did the 10 meter.
Yep.
I did the 10 mile before our wedding. And I was like, I'm good.
That's a long distance.
I don't know.
How many miles is a marathon?
a marathon
26.
26.2.
Yeah.
26.2 miles or kilometers?
Miles.
So, yeah,
Miles.
that's But marathons are also quite bad for you.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that more than one time. Well, I mean, the story of the original marathon is the messenger ran the marathon, ran from Marathon to Athens,
and
I believe
died.
it was, and died. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, the Persians are coming or whatever, and just died.
Yeah.
And then people were like, let's do that for fun.
Yeah. In honor of this guy that died, we should keep doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I ran the 10 mile. It was a beautiful race. I am glad that I did it. I did it with my cousin Aaron. And afterwards, I was like, that's not my distance. Dan, 10 miles, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks it's great.
Some
And I'm
people are
like,
built for distance, and
Yeah.
I'm not built for distance.
I love a 10K. 5 miles, even though that's 10K is 6.2 miles,
Mhm.
but like 5 miles is my like sweet spot where I'm like, that was a really
Yeah.
great distance. I feel great still. I'm not like, and like a 10K, I'm not by the end of it like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But 5 miles is my favorite distance to run,
Yeah, that's good.
which I have been doing like every other day. But now with this cold, I'm like, I feel like I need to take it easy. So instead, I lifted weights and rode the Peloton this morning. And then I cleaned the inside of my car. And I took my kids to school because I never sit down.
You never sit down.
I can't sit down.
All right. I got to run through a couple of stories here because there's some interesting stories in the news this morning. I'll tell you that. Jesus. Every now and then you hear about a mystery that would be perfect for a TV detective. Someone in California had their car broken into on Friday the 13th. So last Friday.
Yeah.
Or I guess it would be
Yeah,
two
two
Fridays
Fridays
ago
ago.
now. Got to keep forgetting it's, man.
September has gone by so quickly.
It really has.
Fawn the other day was like, this school year is going to be over in no time. Last school year went by so fast, and I just think every year goes by faster and faster. And I was like, yeah, it does.
It does.
You're right.
So someone in California had their car broken into on Friday the 13th. They were parked outside of a school and had gone inside the gym with their kid. When they came back to the car, they saw the back passenger window had been shattered. And when they looked inside, they noticed there was at least one thing missing, a cardboard box that the owner said. I'll tell you what it contained in a minute. Police also say they discovered a GPS device attached to the car that the victim didn't seem to be aware of. So somebody put a GPS on the car knowing what was in the car.
Oh, it's a bait car then.
What do you mean bait car?
What they do is they'll put something valuable in a car, or they'll have a valuable car and just leave it unlocked. But they'll put a GPS device on it. So when someone steals it, they can follow them home.
Oh, good, because I got to figure this out. Suddenly, this break-in is a lot more interesting, but unfortunately, there aren't any more details. The cops are investigating both the break-in and the claim, because apparently one thing was stolen from the car. It was a cardboard box that contained $1 million in cash.
Oh, that sounds very fishy.
Yeah.
Doesn't it
what?
sound
Yeah,
fishy?
That sounds like money laundering or
Okay. Who
something.
carries around?
Exactly.
If I had $300 in cash in my car, I'd lock my car.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wouldn't keep it like.
Well, he smashed the window out
Well, but
to get at it.
still, I mean, like Ethan has like this cheap piece of crap tablet that he watches things in the car on long rides, and
Right.
like, I'll lock the car and I'll hide that thing underneath a seat because it's like,
A tablet.
it's worth $100, but someone is going to want to steal that.
Yes, because they'll see a tablet. And be like,
Exactly.
that's something
So
I
it's
could
like
get
it's
money
just to
for.
leave a box of money, much less $1 million. That's very
who
suspicious.
drives
behavior.
around with.
$1 million in cash.
If
Right.
I have
How do you even get
a
$1 million
check
in cash?
written out to me for any amount of money, I just keep it on me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just leave it in my car.
The only way I can think of a normal person ever having $1 million is if they sell their house, and they're not
take
going to
it
give you
cash?
cash
Yeah,
for that.
What?
That
No.
just is not
That's-
something that happens.
And this woman's just like popping her kid off at school,
Yeah,
like,
no.
oh, we're just gonna go into school with $1 million in the car. No,
Mhm.
there's
Drug
something-
dealer?
This is something.
What do you think? Drug dealer, maybe?
Who freaking knows? Sounds
Even a drug dealer wouldn't carry around $1 million in cash. There's no way.
I'll say I feel like they're smarter than that. What is
Well-
this woman's deal?
Well, it's like, I guess if they're like a regional distributor.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I got to run this by you guys because at the beginning of the 2000s, Andy was 14 years old and Alex was 12.
It was.
A list of pop culture facts from the 2000s includes these 25 interesting facts about 2000 pop culture. So again, you were 14 and 12,
Oh,
so you
crud.
do remember it.
Sorry, I've realized I have to leave early today.
Well, what time do you have to leave?
In like 10 minutes.
Well, we'll just
I have to go help
wrap
in
it up in
first.
10 minutes
I
anyway.
have
That's
to go
fine.
help first grade learn how to read.
We'll wrap her up in 10 minutes then, because that'll still be a 40-minute or 50-minute show. That'll be fine.
That
Okay.
will be almost exactly 50 minutes.
Yep.
There you go.
So not a problem.
I
Okay.
just got a notification on my watch because I would have forgotten, and this is why I set reminders.
So
for
I got to
myself.
call and cancel two meetings because I have other meetings I have to go.
More meetings.
This whole week I got a lot of phone meetings and personal meetings.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
so
that
here we
means
go.
I don't get to go home between. What? Okay. Well,
Okay.
Oh well.
In any case, a list of pop culture facts from the 2000s includes this, that, and the other. YouTube was conceived as a video dating site.
Really?
That's what YouTube was supposed to be. I didn't know
I've
that.
never heard that.
Me neither.
Russell Crowe recommended Hugh Jackman for Wolverine after turning it down. So here's the deal. BuzzFeed put together a list of 25 interesting facts about 2000s pop culture. Here are the highlights to see. Again, you were 14 and 12, so it's going to be interesting.
Perfect time to be into pop culture.
Yeah, and I was
Pretty much.
40. I was 49. So
Perfect
that's-
time to be too old for pop culture.
Yeah, there you
Perfect
go.
time to
exactly.
stop caring about pop culture.
Okay, here we
I
go.
stopped caring when I was probably 30.
Yeah.
But-
Did you ever care? Really?
Debatable.
Yeah, exactly.
Debatable. Okay, number 10. Even though it was a major Hollywood film about fashion, The Devil Wears Prada had only a $100,000 wardrobe budget.
Fantastic movie. Love that
Was it?
movie.
Was it a great
I've seen
movie?
it 50 times.
Really?
Incredible movie. I love
Who's in
that
it
movie.
again?
Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Emily
yeah.
Blunt.
Oh yeah.
Stanley Tucci. I mean, how could it get better?
All the names.
All incredible. It's a fantastic movie. Highly recommend.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was born when the creator saw a wife berate her husband for not being as well dressed as three nearby gay men.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's
I
pretty
love
funny,
the original
actually.
Queer Eye cast.
That was a good
They
show.
were all
yeah.
so great.
So
What was
was
the
going
one
to say
guy?
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was originally Straight Eye for the Queer Guy.
Yeah, there you go. Number 8, Amy Winehouse was tapped to sing the theme song for the 2008 James Bond film Quantum of Solace,
That would make sense.
but she was a wreck by that point. Jack White had was brought in last minute and recorded Another Way to Die with Alicia Keys. So Amy Winehouse died shortly after when she was supposed
Yep.
to do that.
Yeah,
She
Amy
was a
Winehouse
problem.
was-
They tried
I mean-
to make her go to rehab, but she said no, no, no.
She said,
Yeah,
no,
she said no.
no.
No, no.
In 2006, A History of Violence became the last major Hollywood movie to be released. How? 2006, A History of Violence became the last major movie to be released on
On film? Like analog film?
VHS.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I guess I can see a VHS in 2006,
Yeah, I guess.
but that would be the obviously the tail end.
yeah.
You know, when we moved, I swear to God, Mom and I had at least 300 DVDs of movies.
Oh God, when we had our garage sale a couple years ago, we had boxes and boxes full of them. And this one
Really?
woman, she just came and she was like, "I'll just take them all. They're like 20 cents each or whatever." She's like, "I'll just take the box." And we're like, "Hell yeah."
I think we gave ours to Goodwill.
Probably.
'Cause,
Yeah,
I
we gave a bunch to the library. I don't know
Yeah.
if Goodwill takes them anymore, do they?
I think DVDs.
I know
they do.
Arcs Value Village does because I bought one of those portable DVD players for fun when we
Mm.
drove to Chicago for a dance convention. And I went to Arcs Value Village and bought like The Incredibles,
Oh yeah, probably
and
cost me
Inside
nothing.
Out, and Shrek, and they were each like $1.
Yep. No one wants DVDs.
Yeah, they do not
I
want
was
them.
like, I don't even know where that thing is anymore. We used it that one time. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, where is that?
Okay, a few more to go. Fans thought Heath Ledger was a terrible choice to play the Joker in The Dark Knight. It's a lot like how people thought Michael Keaton was an awful choice to play Batman in 1989. In both instances, the haters were dead wrong. They were both terrific.
Well, until the Heath Ledger Joker, the Joker was always like an actual Joker. You'd make jokes and
Yeah,
laugh and
yep.
stuff like that.
Well,
but
no,
yep.
what's his face played a pretty creepy.
Jack Here's
Nich-
Johnny guy. Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
That's true. His was
His was pretty
definitely yeah.
Yeah.
But like Heath Ledger's Joker was just like so like
Yeah, just
dour
just
and
absolutely
mad.
unhinged.
Yeah, just like a realistic psychopath
Yeah.
basically. And
yes.
that was new at the time. And that's why people still talk about it.
There you go. Number 5, Mark Ruffalo almost dropped out of 13 going on 30 because he had such a hard time during rehearsals for the Thriller dance scene. I don't know
Really?
any-
Huh.
Oh my gosh, that's
Thriller dance
that's
is like the
You just have to do
easiest.
this.
It's
You're
very
just doing
easy.
this
Some
a lot.
people cannot dance.
That's true.
Well,
They
that's
have
true, yeah.
zero
Yeah.
rhythm. You could try and try and try, and they just cannot figure it out. So I don't know.
Arrested Development and the OC almost did a crossover episode, but the producers of the show ultimately decided it was too meta. What does that
I never
mean?
watched either show, so I don't know.
What is too meta?
Meta's
Meta
like,
would be like a joke about a joke, basically.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
if I don't know, like what's a show that you would be familiar, like Friends. Okay, it's like imagine if the cast of Friends did a parody of a sitcom in the show Friends.
Right.
Like they
Yeah,
were,
very
they got cast as a bunch of friends who did a sitcom within the sitcom. That would be meta because it would be like a joke
Oh,
about
yeah.
sitcoms
Yeah.
inside a sitcom.
Here's that one. YouTube was meant to be a video dating site when it
Yeah.
launched in
this
2005.
is surprising
Huh.
to me.
I didn't know
never
that either.
heard that before.
And number 1, Hey Ya,
Hey,
I sing that to my
by
kids
Outkast.
all the time because Sage will go, "Hey ya," when he's like,
Instead of
doesn't
just,
want
"Hey
somebody to take
Ya."
and so he says that, and I go, "Hey ya."
Mhm.
He does not like it.
I like
I'm
that
sure
song.
he doesn't.
That's a great song.
One way to make Ethan very mad is to sing at him when he's mad.
Oh, really?
Oh God,
He
yeah.
gets really mad then.
Not
Not good.
one of the
When you
funniest.
feel so
Yeah,
mad.
exactly. One of the funniest, unintentionally funniest things he's ever done was I was telling Alex, there's this Daniel Tiger song. When you feel so mad, that you want to roar, etc.
Just count to 10.
Take a deep breath and count
Take
to 4.
a breath and
Yeah.
count to 4. That's
So
why I
that's
was
what you're
like, wait,
supposed
no,
to
there's
do
something
is-
about breathing.
So if you're mad, you're supposed to count to 4, and that'll calm you down. But Ethan really does not like that song, especially when he's mad. So one day we were at the pool, and Melissa just goes, "Hey, Ethan, when you feel so mad," and Ethan just screams, "No!"
He was just like
He wasn't
walking
even
by.
mad at the
Yeah,
time.
he was just walking by, and she was like, "When
Yeah.
you feel so, no!"
Yeah. Nothing will make him mad to quite like
It's
bringing
like-
up that song.
Why?
I hate it.
Well, because
so
it's like it's
much.
basically like the "Stop Being Mad" song. It's like, when you're mad, you
Oh,
don't want
yeah.
someone to be like, "Hey, calm down," because that's not
It's-
helpful.
It's one of those things that is good to do after, like when they're mad and they're
Exactly, yeah.
screaming. Now is not the time to sing them
Right.
the song.
No.
Later, when you're like, "Hey,
Next
remember
time,
earlier when
yeah.
you were so mad and you were kicking and screaming and throwing things?" Like, and then you sing the song, and then they can be like, "Oh, okay."
You sing Hey Ya.
I sing "Hey ya,"
There
or
you
he
go.
says Noah all the
Noah,
time.
oh God,
and I'll be like,
Noah,
Such
yeah.
a Minnesotan.
I know,
thing
and
to
I'm
do.
like, and he has a
Don't,
friend who has a friend whose big brother's name is Noah, and I'm like, Noah's not
Mm.
here, man.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when a kid is like tantruming or just like being impetulant, you just like have to laugh because you can't not.
Well, it works a lot of the time if Sage is just being like ridiculous. I'll just kind of look at him and do a face of like,
Yeah.
really, and then I'll
Mhm.
kind of like start laughing, and then he'll be like crying, and then be like,
Yeah.
like laugh
sometimes,
crying.
Yeah. Ethan does that sometimes.
It'll snap him out of it. I'd say 75% of the time,
That's
because
good.
I'm just like, it's getting a little ridiculous.
I suppose.
Okay, I have to go.
Okay, we do have to go. I'll close with this. Hey Ya by Outkast is actually a sad song. It's about people, how people stay in relationships when they're unhappy because it's better than being alone.
It is.
Which is not true.
No,
does
I don't
not-
think that's
I'd
true.
much
either.
rather be alone than be in
Well,
an unhappy
I don't know. A
relationship.
lot of people would rather be in a relationship than be alone,
There
even
are
if it's
some
bad.
people that cannot be alone
Yeah.
No,
for
that is true.
anything.
That's
It's
tons of people are
so
like that.
weird.
All right,
It's not
kids.
even like toxic relationships. It's just
no,
like,
it's just like
you
this
know,
just
we don't really
isn't
like each other
great.
that much
Yeah.
anymore, but we're so afraid of not having someone there that.
Yeah, or like it's easier than breaking up. I
Yep.
feel like some people a lot of time, I don't know,
Why do you think your mom and I were such a good fit?
because she somehow puts up with you.
That she puts up with my crap. That's what you're saying.
She knows how to take a deep breath and count to 4.
Gee, thanks for all your very positive takes on my end of the deal.
Well, she's not taking deep breaths right now. She's coughing.
If she does,
stuff.
she'd hack
Coughing,
up a
it's
lung.
true. All right, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Got a picture in my pocket reminds me of this one was before. Every time I hear the same reminds me how you talking